In this video, we're going to talk about Acumatica's technology and how it's a real game changer for businesses like yours. Let's start with user interface. From Acumatica's global search, giving you the ability to search on a menu item or a customer or transaction, get access directly to that document. From being able to see recently viewed documents or profiles, transactions that you may have accessed, and have them nicely categorized across the left, or even pin favorite ones across the right. Ability to configure your own menu panels on the left-hand side. The sitemap is completely configurable if you want to, but to access frequently used items in the menu or see the entire menu just at the click of a button and configure that easily. Even pinning the most commonly used menu panels that you use. Viewing data has never been easier. Here's a list of all our sales orders. And you can see here we have different columns of information. These columns can be configured and moved around. You can configure your columns also here, moving columns up and down, or taking them away if you don't want them. You can also do easy searches. So let's say I'm looking for something with school in it. I can type a few letters and Acumatica will return that search. Your ability to do quick filters. So maybe I only want to see everything that's on hold, or even create your own filters. So for example, maybe I want to have a filter, my orders within the last 7 days. Date equals to today minus 7. And you can copy these filters and create new ones, even share them with other people. Not only that, the data views allow you to create quick pivot tables. So maybe I want to see my customer by year. A quick save as a pivot table, and I can configure my columns and my rows and decide what data I want to see there, and even drill down. These views also give you the ability to navigate to different screens or create actions and update a bunch of records at once. So let's say we want to take all of these and put them on hold, for example, or create shipments out of them, or update certain fields. This is all in your reach. You can configure these the way you want. And taking this data and looking at it and navigating doesn't stop there. You can also create dashboards from any of these data sets. Our dashboards come in a variety of different types of widgets. You can see here we have charts, we have pivot tables, we have scorecards, and even trending cards. And the dashboards don't end as visual candy, they're interactive. So I can click on the 93 wins here and actually see those and find out more about it. Create as many dashboards as you want, give them access to certain users in the company, and even make them as a landing page so when users log in, they arrive at the dashboard of information that they need to do their job. Next is reporting. Acumatica has a number of reports baked in. Most common report is your aging reports. When you run the report, you have different report parameters, additional sorts and filters. You can configure it to print an email, have a template and schedule that template to run on a regular basis. When you run the report, you can quickly convert it into an Excel spreadsheet or PDF. You can send it to someone with Acumatica's integrated email system. And the attachment shows right up here as a PDF. And then you can send it. But also with Acumatica's modern report engine, you can easily modify the report and even save different versions. So let's say we wanted to modify this report. Everything here is included in the database. So no need to allocate a specific directory on your hard drive for report files. It's all coming from the database. Let's say we wanted to change this header to supplier. We can make that change. We can even change the default format of this report. Maybe we want it to automatically be a PDF every time we run it. Or maybe when we send that email out, we prefer to have the body of the message already pre-filled with, here you go. We can make our changes here as a new version. Save it. And when we run it again, you can see this new report version. And now you can see the changes. And if we email it out, notice it's a PDF. We email it out. We have the here you go in the body of the email. It's this modern reporting engine that'll make your life easier to maintain the reports and get the information to the people that need it fast. Workflow. Acumatica's advanced workflow engine allows you to configure the software and its workflows around your business. So you can see here, if I click on Customize, I can show the diagram of this sales order and its current workflow. We zoom in a little bit. And you could see here, right from the on hold status, are the different workflows from all the different statuses. So from on hold to credit hold, pending processing. And you can configure these any way you want. If we take a look at our customization window, you can see all the different actions here. You can create a new action easily, whether it's a report or a side panel or a different workflow. You can set conditions and use those to ensure whether or not these actions are available at given times during the workflows. You can create different dialog boxes for collecting information. This flexibility gives us complete control over our order cycles and to ensure that our employees perform the correct steps at the right times. For more on this, take a look at our workflow videos on our YouTube channel to see how to enable certain actions and also how to enable a side panel. We talked about that just a couple of minutes ago. Multi-entity. Acumatica gives you the ability to have multiple entities within the same tenant. So for example, you can see here at the top of the screen, I can see all my different entities, different companies and branches from within. I can configure those here and require branches or even balancing entries, GL balancing entries between different companies for intercompany transactions. Each company or branch has the ability to have different address information, different logos. All of these things can show up on reports and other forms. You can have different 1099s, different security roles for accessing these companies and branches so that only certain employees can get to certain companies, and even support different colors so that when you're logging between them, you can see full well what company you're in. These different companies and entities allow you to run financial statements, consolidating or separating out information specific to those entities. You can perform journal transactions between any of these entities. You can even run allocations across different GL accounts and different entities or branches. Acumatica's multi-entity system allows you to have specific financials for each entity, but also gives you the power of consolidation and the control to ensure that employees are in the right entities at the right times. Templates. Throughout the software, you have the ability to copy and paste. So for example, I have a journal transaction here. I can copy, add a new record, and paste, and then release it. And I just saved a lot of data entry. But what we can also do is save this as a template. Acumatica will then go back and it'll save all of the different field values. You can make changes here if you'd like to, but they're all listed here. We can give it a name. We can save it. And now the next time we go back to our journal transaction screen, create a new one. Rather than copy and paste, we can see the template right here. Simply call upon it and now release it. Notifications. Throughout the software, we have a concept called business events. These can be immediate or scheduled events that can analyze documents or profiles or anything that's going on in the software, and based on these data changes, can automatically send out an alert. So for example, we're in an invoice right now. If I click on business events, create a new one. Maybe an invoice goes to credit hold and we want to know about it right away. We'll select our list of invoices. We could decide whether it's going to be scheduled or based on an immediate record change. We can give it the condition and the criteria as to when it happens. It's a new field value where the status equals credit hold. Then we could tell it what to send out or how to send it out. So this could be an email notification. We could fire an import scenario, bring in data into the system as soon as this happens. It could be a mobile pop-up on your mobile app, Acumatica's mobile app system, or a text message. You could put the invoice number here simply by selecting it. You can even put a link directly to that invoice. Lastly, you can log the activity against the customer's contact or their account or any other entity. So now, as soon as the invoice hits a credit hold, an automated email can go right out. Acumatica also allows you to communicate through activities. So let's say this particular invoice, I want to add a task follow-up reminder. I can save it. And then not only configure the system to have an Outlook type pop-up, but also I can see all of my activities and see which ones are due and which ones need to be completed. Additionally, I can send emails through the system. For example, if I want to print this invoice, but maybe I want to send a copy of the invoice to a customer. You can hit the send button here. The to field is predetermined based on the report, how it's configured. So is this template, although you can change this. We talked about that in our report section. But now you can send it. And when you go back to the invoice, you can see the activity right here. Any replies to this email would also flow into here and directly to me because I'm the one that sent out the email. So notifications and communications and your ability to task manage at Acumatica allow you to be more efficient than ever before. Mobile app. The Acumatica mobile app or framework allows you to get potentially access to every screen that Acumatica offers through the web browser, instead using the mobile app. You can have different Acumatica instances here. You can use your biometric login. So in this case, I can use my finger in order to log in. And you have access to out-of-the-box type actions. For example, we can get to sales orders, project management, support tickets, expense receipts, just to name a few things. But with a little bit of customization, you can add any screen or any fields in any screen to the mobile framework. But let's say I need to create an expense receipt. I can talk into the app for this expense receipt, which is for lunch. I can pick my expense item and give it an additional description. I can also attach a picture of the receipt. Acumatica will attempt to align the receipt. As you can see, this is not a receipt. But it can also recognize the values on here and bring those into the receipt. And when I go back to Acumatica, I can see that receipt right here and even the image immediately. You also have access to any generic inquiries or dashboards that you'd like to view. So this is orders to ship, late orders. This is all accessible through Acumatica's dashboard. And simply enough, with this dashboard, we went over to properties and checked the box to expose it to the mobile application, and it was immediately there. Need to show something else there? Simply go to that dashboard and check the box. The mobile app also supports our warehouse management system, allowing you to scan your way through transactions, and gives you accessibility to your Acumatica system while you're on the road. Security. From user-based security that can be associated with roles and different types, to being able to apply access rights by the role or by the screen, seeing a complete access history, either by login or screens accessed, even being able to see a field-level audit of any transaction in the system and watching as those field values change, Acumatica's security is quite robust. Starting with our security preferences, which gives you the ability to force users to change passwords, the ability to support two-factor authentication, locking out accounts when login attempts are unsuccessful, and ensuring that you keep a proper audit history for all of these different variables, from logins to screen accessed to who published a customization. Acumatica supports location tracking right to the mobile app. We take a look at the access history. This shows what users have logged in, what screens they've accessed, and what customizations have been published, and by who. Acumatica has built-in security roles to make your job of setting up security that much easier. Acumatica even has row-level security, with your ability to set row-level restrictions by users or groups of users to various things like GL accounts, budgets, customers, warehouses, even inventory items. You can feel confident that Acumatica's security is among the best in the business. Multiple languages. Acumatica is built out of the box to support multiple language installs. So currently out of the box, we have English, but it doesn't stop there. You have the ability to change the names of anything and translate them into a vernacular that makes most sense for your business. So for example, let's say under bills and adjustments, we don't want to call it vendor. We'd rather call it supplier. If we go here and search for vendor, you can scan through all the terms. Highlight vendor. Down below, we can pick a specific screen that we'd like to change the name for. But instead, all across the board, we can change it to supplier, save it, and if we refresh our bills screen, We've now changed the terminology to supplier. It's that easy, no customization, just a simple visit to the translation dictionary screen, and we're off and running. Multi-tenancy. Acumatica can manage multiple tenants within the same database. So for example, if we say insert tenant, we can add a new company. And now you can see as we log in, we now have a different company, Company B. And then we could move on to set up this company as a completely different company with different chart of accounts, customers, vendors, transactions, and more. Later, if we have a user that cuts across both tenants, we can simply switch between tenants. Tenants can do a lot of things. The maintenance of tenants is extremely easy in Acumatica. We can create snapshots and export those snapshots to a file and later use them in a different Acumatica instance. We can maintain our history of any snapshots we restored. You can view your space usage right from here. Acumatica's multi-tenancy gives you the flexibility to manage your tenants right from inside Acumatica, the ability to copy tenants, so I can copy this tenant over to a brand new one, or an existing one, making it extremely easy to manage all your company data. Web Services API. Integrating with Acumatica has never been easier. The ability to access API connection from any screen in the software, simply by going to the Tools menu, you can access your Web Service API. Being able to see your login and logout methods, importing and export methods, and everything else needed to connect to Acumatica using APIs. Acumatica also has amazing integration capabilities. All your web service endpoints can be managed right within Acumatica. So taking a look at an existing endpoint, you can see all of the different methods that you can access and their mapped fields and field types. Need to extend your endpoint? You can do so right here, adding different tables and field values for later accessibility. Also, Acumatica's import and export scenarios allowing you to connect to data providers such as CSV, Excel, ACH, SQL, built-in providers like HubSpot and Salesforce, give the ability to stream in information or out of Acumatica based on almost any requirement you can think of. Document Manager. Acumatica allows you to upload any files to almost any screen in the software. You can manage the file size. You can also manage the different file types you support right here. If we go to a document such as a sales order, we can drag and drop any file directly to that document. We can access that file by looking over here and clicking the edit button. Our file maintenance screens give you the ability to have different versions and make comments on them. You can even synchronize files using an FTP or document share. Acumatica also allows you, rather than drag and drop, you can even click on a button to upload using your mobile app. On your mobile device, a notification will pop up. You can use your camera. As soon as you're done taking the picture, the image will show up right here. Acumatica also supports a very sophisticated help system. This help system is part of our wiki-based management. So you can create your own articles. In addition to the articles that are here, you can come in here and make changes or add new articles. You can assign rights to different people throughout the system who has the ability to edit or view only. You can even put articles up for responses so you can see how these articles are getting voted on, whether people like them. This wiki-based management system supports embedded images and attachments, and hyperlinks, and any kind of formatting you can think of using HTML or wiki language. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching this video, maybe subscribing to our channel. This is Acumatica's modern platform and how it's a game changer between other ERP products in the market. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.